Greetings and salutations this morning, everybody. I just want to jump in and give you a little morning update. As you probably see from the title, I really do think that the Lions are in a position to have Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks be their most important game of the season. You may look at me and say, hey, why is that? Well, I'm going to tell you just from my experiences. Somebody who's coached for, over the part of the last 4 decades, I've overtaken a lot of programs. I've helped turn around ones that, weren't in the best spots at the moment I started. The Lions, as we all know with Dan Campbell, have done an amazing job between him, Brad Holmes, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, all the people in control. They've done a great job of getting us to this position where, hey, the Kansas City game was a big win. Nobody can deny that. But you need to keep momentum going. If they lose momentum at this point, then, there's a moment of pause. So I'm going to say this to everybody watching. Seattle shouldn't be trifled with. Yeah, I get, their offensive tackles, both the right and the left, one left the game. That kind of opened up the floodgates in the second half along with some other injuries. But be it as may, Seattle is not a bad team. If Detroit goes into Ford Field, and let's face it, does anybody raise your hand if you think that Ford Field isn't going to be rocking, jam-packed, sold out, standing room only, people giving away their firstborn kid to get into that game? It's going to be a packed house, and if the Lions come out and don't destroy Seattle Seahawks, if somehow Seattle comes in and leaves with a win, then I think we can all say the boo birds are going to start coming out. People are going to start saying, hey, same old Lions. If you've been a Lions fan for a while, you probably get the situation. So I really think the pressure is on the Detroit Lions to come in and win this game. And if they can win it, 2-0 going into a game with Atlanta. That's why I'm saying this is the most important game of the season, because you need to establish an identity and a consistency, a belief, not just from your players, but from your fan base. You need to make sure that the same old Lions routine is dead and gone. I think we all watched that Kansas City game, and let's face it, when Mahomes got the ball back with like 3 minutes left, there's probably more than a few Lions fans that said, man, I've seen this before. The nerves start cranking up. Is it going to be a last-second field goal that beats us? And everybody, the next day is going to say, man, the Lions played a great game. Kansas City just pulled it out in the end. We've all been there, and if you've been a Lions fan like me since the late 70s, early 80s, you've seen that script unfold way too often. The other part is we've also seen over the years in the late 80s, early mid 90s, the 2013-14 Lions, where, hey, they got to the point where they were good, they were winning, and then something like, Seattle's game this weekend would pop up where, you pull off a big win and then you lose a game you probably shouldn't. So if we all want to see that this Lions team has really changed, if you really want the fan base to say, yeah, same old Lions is done, then the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, need to do everything in their power to win this game Sunday, because then you're 2-0, you've got momentum, you've written off some of that narrative of same old Lions. Now, on a separate topic, talking about those rookies. I think we all agreed the top 4 rookies for the Lions, they really did a great job on opening day. I wanted to say Sunday there, so sorry about that. But the rookies, I'm going to say this. I do expect Gibbs is going to have a bit more of an expanded role. Same with Campbell. Branch, it's going to be hard to improve upon what he did, but the kid's got real potential. And I think by the end of the season, everybody's going to be questioning, how was this kid a second-round pick? Whatever it is, it's a benefit to the Lions, though. So the other thing, I'd like to see Broderick Martin get out there. Laporta, I don't think there's any doubt that guy is going to be out there. Maybe he's not the starter, but he might be the starter in the amount of reps he gets. So we'll see what shakes out there. But to go back to the point of this video, the Lions have all the pressure in the world, in my opinion, to come out and win. They have to win this home opener. They have to beat Seattle. They have to make sure you, me, and everybody across this nation who watches the NFL says, yeah, the same old Lions are done. They don't, lose games they shouldn't. They win games they shouldn't. We need to make sure that we go in there as a team, collectively organized, and say, hey, we need to bury the Seattle Seahawks. I don't think we have an official injury update on either team until tomorrow, at least the first one. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Seattle Seahawks as far as their offensive tackles. If both of them are out, yes, I get that means they've got all week to prep their backups. But let's face it, they're backups for a reason. And I'm going to say this. If the Lions are facing a Seattle team that doesn't have either starting offensive tackle, I got to imagine Aiden Hutchinson, Houston, Lee McNeil, I mean, whoever it is, they're all going to be salivating at the idea of getting after Geno Smith, the running backs, and just putting Seattle through the floor. All right, I'll chime in later today if there's any kind of breaking news. I know you guys blow me up a lot of time about trade things, but there's really no new news on the trade front, so I don't want to keep pestering you guys with basically just saying stuff that you already have heard or seen by now. But anyways, take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time on Lions Talk Live.